Good morning. How's everybody doing today? As you can see, it's just a nasty snowy. Started snowing late last night and it's been snowing ever since and supposed to snow all the way until later today. So we'll see how that goes. Um, Let me get rid of the emojis. So, um, like I said, I'd like to welcome everybody here this morning. I went out and shoveled already once. And thought, well, I usually wait until 9, so it's a few minutes before. Hey, Ed, good morning. Laura. Yeah, thanks, Laura. Hey, Donald. Hello, Mudball. Let me get the link in the chat. Okay, so I think we're pretty much ready to cruise. So if anybody'd like to join me, there's the link in the chat. Um, you're welcome. Yeah, I went out to end up sweeping a little bit and turned around and ended up doing a lot more. The screen share. As you can see, the snow. It's gotten pretty bad. Here's my driveway, what it used to look like. There's what it looks like now after I shoveled it once. Here's the backyard. That's north of the house where my tenant parks. This is the driveway after I shoveled it now. And here's the front of the house where his entrance is. So, what's everybody's plans for the weekend? It's Friday. I'm surprised school is on right now. We're supposed to get 6 to 8 inches of snow throughout the day, on and off. Um, Especially with lake effect snow. As you can see, the wind is coming off the lake towards Port Huron. And that creates lake effect snow. Picks up the moisture and dumps it. Oh, Laura's picking up the kids. All right. That should make David happy. He just loves it when the kids come over. Good morning, Bob. 1944. Russell. Mudball. Don. Donald, are you making breakfast or what are you up to? Max Air, good morning. Yeah, so anyway, I came in from shoveling snow and thought, well, I wasn't going to wait till 9, just go ahead and start it up. We'll see how it goes. It's not the best out there. Oh, I know what I gotta do. Hang on a minute, I gotta pick some peanuts. So we'll see how it goes here. Sorry about that. I happened to look in one of the cameras and my little squirrel buddies were out there looking for peanuts. Max there, yeah, Paul's chair. Yeah, I just went around the corner here and threw some peanuts out to the squirrelies. Um, the I don't know, all of a sudden the BlueStack started putting advertising on this, not on the other, my other computer. On the edge. I can't figure out how to get rid of that. I've tried everything I could think of. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Anybody knows how to get rid of that, I would appreciate it. Is right here, this advertising comes on the side. You hit privacy, and all it does is say, we value your privacy, blah, 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 blah. Reject all. So anyway, this is my outside camera view. And I have to use BlueStacks because I've got Android. And the Wyze cameras require you to adapt it through BlueStacks. But that drives me crazy. Because over there, when I share it, of course, then I've got the advertising bar on the side. Over here, don't have it. So, Curtis, morning. Peeps going in for minor outpatient surgery this morning. Pretty sure I'll survive. Well, we hope so, Curtis. Oh, Max, there you got 1 to 3 today. We're supposed to get like 6 to 8 inches, I think, by the time it's all said and done. But 1 to 3 is better than 6 to 8. So. And of course, pretty much all of the freighter traffic, commercial traffic is gone, except for periodically you may get a tanker going into South Sarnia to the refineries down there and picking up fuel oil or something else. That's looking downriver. Pine Grove Park. There's the old Huron lightship that's on kind of now it's a landmark type of thing. They stuck it at Pine Grove Park, and there's a group of people that maintain it and give tours and those kinds of things. That used to be way out in the lake, and they used to mark the beginning of the channel because of the obstructions on both sides. It's out there at about 6 miles out. The channel begins. Yeah, it's 19 degrees here. So, yeah, next week we're supposed to get rain, Bob. That's right. Yeah, it's supposed to warm up and rain next week here too. I think they're talking Wednesday or so, maybe Tuesday, start to warm up and turn to rain. You know, they're showing on television on Fox News. Baltimore's got a lot of snow going on. Buffalo, New York, where they have the NFL playoff games going on, they had to get the shovel out the stands because they don't have a dome. Detroit, about 5-6 years ago, built a dome stadium. So the Detroit Lions play inside, but I mean, it was deep. It was like 4 foot deep in the stadium. And they were having to shovel out all the seats and everything, and wow. Yeah, and Buffalo is the Bills are playing and Sunday, and they're calling upon all their fans to come out and shovel the stands out. Incredible. Yes, Andrew, I do that periodically. Yep, that's right, Bob. Same here. I don't know if Curtis has snow or not. They're in that inlet that stays a little warmer because of the Pacific Ocean, but maybe. Yeah, it's still snowing pretty good here. It's so dark and snowy, and most of the snow, as I'm looking on this camera, the snow is coming from off the lake because of the northeast wind.
Traffic. This is the Canadian Coast Ocean. Samuel Risley. I'm 1-1. Over. Field proceeding downbound for winter.
Yeah, it's just not nice.
Thank you. No traffic reported. Roger, thank you.
So, hey, Sarah. Hello, Kevin. What am I doing right now? Uh, Not particularly much of anything. Why?
I need to use the truck and the snow blower.
Okay,
'Cause I might have a couple jobs that I can do today, like doing driveways,
okay,
Burger King being one of them.
all right, okay.
So, I'll be down a little bit. I'm just trying to warm up a little bit because I've already like shoveled like 3 driveways this morning, so.
Okay,
All right.
all right,
Thank you.
you betcha. Bye-bye.
All right, bye.
Sarah, good morning. How are you doing? Andrew, what are you up to? Are you gonna come and join the panel or what? You're just gonna sit in the weeds? Sarah, what's Justin doing? Where's he at? For the most part, what's the matter, Sarah? Are you at work? Yeah, how are your kids doing? Wasn't one of them have had kind of a illness going on, or I recall, my short-term memory is not very good. Yes, you're working. Okay. Okay. Well, we hope everybody in your house gets feeling better, Sarah, real soon. Okay, great. That's great. There's nothing worse than for a parent to have people in the family sick, but the kids, I remember when I was little, it's not any fun on their end either. So it's one of life's lessons. You'll learn how really helpless you really are, depending upon your health. Okay, so Kelsey's home. Well, hopefully they're going to get better soon here, and your family will do better once everybody's healthy again. I just hope it's not the kind of illness, Sarah, that one passes it on, passes it on, passes it on, then it recycles, and it passes it on, pass it on, pass it on. And my little squirrel buddies are out there running around collecting the peanuts that I threw out. The, not a lot to say, not a lot to do. We got 16 people watching. What's everybody up to? Let me do something over here. Here comes USA Drone Flyer.
Here I come to save the day.
That's right.
Yeah, I was on the phone with Johnny.
Oh yeah, what's going on?
We were talking about some stuff about the South Florida and everything, and he was printing something, and all of a sudden he walked in there and it was messing up, and he got real mad. I don't blame him, you know. He was using the PET or PEG, whatever it is, the really solid stuff.
Yeah.
And the fan must have, and what happens, you got to turn your fan off. That cools things down because it's such a high heat. And it started cooling down on them. And so everything starts drying as it's hitting and chipping off.
Oh,
And and what he was printing is a 10-hour print, but it just started. But he was like really upset.
now does he have to take it apart and clean it out or?
Oh no, it didn't jam, you know.
Okay.
He said, I'm about to throw that whole spool of that stuff away, never use it again.
Yeah.
And he said the PLA worked good on the same thing. I said, well, then use PLA, you know.
Right.
And it's like it happens. You got to, like I said, it's a learning experience. And once you get to a point, I don't think I'm at that point yet, but I'm at that point where at least I have an idea, you know.
Well, at least once you get comfortable with what you're doing, you know.
Yeah, I'm more comfortable working with what I got right now and how I'm doing it. You know, it's like, but he wants to make up like a poker chip with one of those lithopanes with his drones and coffee logo on it and be able to bring some to the South Florida drone meetup.
Oh
And
yeah.
I told him about the lithopane maker program that I've got. That is the free program. And it does around like a poker chip.
Right.
So I said, send me your logo. So he sent me the logo and I got his in mind and I'm gonna print them in a second. And it's only, let me see what the print time is. It's gonna be like a 1.75 diameter. on them, and it's the total print time for both of ours for one each is should be like 46 minutes. Takes about 46 minutes, but if I
Oh, it's
drop it
gonna
down,
print two of them at the same time, side by side? Is that what it's gonna do?
it's gonna print two of them. I just want to see what it looks like because this is at 1.75 inches diameter, under 2 inches. And I want to see what that size looks like because the poker chip is 1.5 in diameter.
Okay,
I'm thinking 1.5 in diameter might be too small because everything's embedded. There's so much detail.
yeah, exactly.
But
Yeah, I was thinking 2 inches, like a silver dollar size.
that's the size of a silver dollar, 2 inches.
Yep.
I might go 2 inches. Let me see something. Alexa, how many millimeters in 2 inches?
2 inches is 50.8 millimeters.
60.8.
Mine said 50.8 millimeters.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that because thought it
It
said
said
60.
60. Yeah.
Yeah. Let me get the right earphone in. I got a different earphone. I'm wondering why I'm hearing you in both ears. That's better.
Yep.
Yeah, I had the earphone for that computer in, and I'm listening to. I'm saying, why is it not going in his ear?
Yeah.
You know, what the hell going on with you today?
Technology.
Yeah,
Don't
50.
don't you love it?
Yeah, 50.8. Yeah, I thought I heard 60.8. That's old age.
Hey, Mark White, how you doing? Max Ayers here, and Sarah just reported that Justin's sick, and some of the kids are too.
Oh, that ain't good. Don't give him a hug. Okay. Now, at 2 inches, it's probably going to be about an hour and 8 minutes. Figuring this out right now. 58 minutes. Took 10, it gives me 10 minutes longer. So that's what I'm going to do. We're going to go. Oh, I'm going to roll over you. You need to move that tail. Oh, let's see. Clean this. Front. Okay. Yeah, it says 58 minutes for the two of them. So I'm going to see. Let me get a pop out chat. So, Lance, what's up?
Hey, good morning, Joe. How are you doing, bud?
Uh, so that thing you sent me yesterday, you know
Yeah.
how big it is, right?
I didn't really. Which one? The blue one or the white one?
The white one with the different terrain.
I didn't notice. It looked kind of big. I don't know that I want it that big.
Well, it
Basically,
looks big, but you want to see how big it really is?
Yeah, yeah. Oh, really? That's okay. That's good. That's a good size.
Yeah,
But
it's a
it's
little
not.
bit, isn't it?
Does it lay flat?
It lays flat, but you can see
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Nice. Okay, cool.
yeah, send me I gotta figure out how I'm gonna box it. Send
Okay.
me your address
Okay,
and I'll get it out to you. Cause it didn't take much to do. I just had to let it had to harden. That was the whole problem.
Sorry
Okay.
about that.
But
I
it-
had, my tenant came
That's
down
all
and it blow some snow.
I'll
But
DM
that
you
gives you a
on that.
little,
Joe, I'll DM
yeah,
you
mess
on,
What,
yeah.
what is that?
that's the skyline of Seattle.
Oh, wow.
And that's the different terrain look.
You know, when you get to be a real professional, you'll have a multicolor printer that'll change the colors of everything and,
Oh yeah. But that was just a little, I probably could have made it a little bit bigger, but I think it's good.
yeah,
You know, because when you start scaling the stuff, it starts changing things and sometimes things will mess up a little bit.
right.
And but they've got one of them out there that does 12 squares of the size of your bed. But you got to buy that program from the guy, and he wants like $200 for the program. And he's got almost every city in the United States landscaped out. But it's you figure it's 10 by 10, and it'd be 40 by 30 when it's all finished. 40
Yeah.
by 30.
Good morning, Lance.
And it's pretty nice.
Hey, Paul.
Well, cool. So what size did you decide to make your coins?
I'm trying 2 inches.
Okay.
And it told me 58 minutes. And I think 2 inches would be better because especially in mine, I got so much freaking detail
Right.
on my round logo. I got the American flag. I got the AI Press NOLA somewhere in there. I may have to just like drones and coffee, like Johnny's doesn't have as much detail.
Right.
And when I print it, I'm gonna see what it looks like. And if it looks okay, I'm gonna tell him yeah, and I'm send him the file. He can print them on his. You know, but it's that I told him about that free program lithofanemaker.com, and it's got if you have a ceiling fan, it's actually got one that you can make to put over the light on your ceiling fan, so that the ceiling fan light is now a lithofan.
Wow.
You know, it's like it's got all kind of stuff. You can make a keychain out of it. You know, so it's like it's a lot of things you can make with it. I made one last night. I don't know how good this was going to show up. I don't know. Let me see if I can get a light.
Well, we can kind of see the bumps.
Yeah, I got to get a light to. Where's it? There it is. If I get the light in a certain angle, I'll get it. Let's see. You got to find the angle.
Oh, yeah.
Almost had it on.
Oh, yeah.
But what that is elephants.
Oh, my.
It's two baby elephants and a big elephant on both sides, like a mom and dad.
You need to be wiped off?
Oh, no, she's good.
Okay.
She was just trampling.
So, Joe, I'm sure you've seen this. Johnny has it.
There you go. You can see it like that better.
Wipe you out? Wipe you out.
I thought.
Come here.
Let's see. Yeah, you can see it now. Look, man. It's like a little herd of elephants.
That's cool.
And that's for a nightlight. It clips on a nightlight. And
Yeah.
the theme in my granddaughter's room is elephants.
You need to take a picture of it when you hook it up for me and post that because that looks cool.
Yeah, because I'm gonna make that on a nightlight, and they can stick that in her room, and she'll have elephants on a nightlight.
Yep.
Yeah, my son on the 18th of next month is remarrying his wife of 1 year for the family. They're doing a big ceremony.
Yeah.
And he had some pictures about, it was about 4 months before they got married of them dancing, somebody took. And it was 4 pictures. I took the 4 pictures and put them on a lithophane on the box. This is
Nice.
another one that you can make. This box right here.
Let me look, hold on, hold it up. Hold it up again. Okay. And that's a box, you said, that does the same thing?
Yeah, it does the same thing. Let
Okay.
me see if I get the light to work on this one a little bit.
So what do you do?
But-
Put like a votive in the inside or something, or
But
how do you light it?
it's got a place to put a bulb in,
Okay.
but you can
gotcha.
see the pictures of them
Okay, so
dancing
it's
together.
Basically 3-sided. Is there anything on top?
Yeah, one on top.
Okay, very cool.
So what I did is, they don't know about it, but I made it so that when they go to the wedding, I'll have this sitting out there.
Oh, nice.
And that's a program that is also in lithophane maker, lithophane-maker.com, and it's free. It's a free program. The deal is though, that one takes about 9 hours to print.
Wow.
You just set it up and it says if you use white, white's good, but if you use dark gray is supposed to look better.
Yeah.
Supposed to come out sharper. But what I'm gonna do is when I do decide to use the dark gray, it's gonna be if I use they've got a couple of programs on Thingiverse like lanterns. If I do a black lantern, then I might do the gray.
Okay.
But I like the white like it is, and I've actually thought about going back and painting all the edges black or something, but I don't know. I might just leave it like it is. Why take a chance on messing something up, you know?
Exactly. Has Johnny used this with you yet?
I didn't hear you.
Has Johnny used this with you yet? Flying?
Oh yeah, he did. He yelled at me with it.
Yeah.
I was about 15 feet from the drone and he hollered, "Captain Joe," and it was loud. Yeah, it was a couple of weeks ago. I've got a doubleheader tonight, boys and girls basketball. It's my first thing I've shot all week.
Girls play at 5:30 and boys play at 7?
6 and 7:30 or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how they do it tonight.
We usually have the boys play at home, the girls play at the other school's home field. But
Yeah, this year they started doing the JV games on Thursday and then the regular games on Friday.
yeah,
And I don't like that. I don't like it that way because that means there's an extra day I got to shoot.
yeah. Okay, I'm gonna blow you guys out here. Hold on. Tell me if you can hear this. I need to get away from this.
Good morning, Paul Murray
Yep.
and friends.
Yep. I've
Yeah.
had several versions of that type of thing. Yep, and they work good. And
Yeah,
you
it
can
works real
you
good.
can on mine, I don't know, you probably can on that too, Lance. You can pre-record a message and just play it, right?
I don't know. I don't know if you can or
Yeah, I
not.
think you
That's
can. Yeah.
okay.
And because
Yeah.
it, like where somebody might use it to say, please stay away from the beach or please whatever,
Oh,
and
okay.
then you can fly it a little ways and then hit it again.
Where Joanne Steed was flying, watch out for sharks.
Yep, exactly.
You guys know Joanne? Have you seen any of her images? She does sharks and she does a really good job.
Yeah, I'm making like a poker chip type of coin right now.
Here's another
Yeah, see
thing
that-
I've got that goes on top that lights
Yeah,
up
nice.
there.
Show that again, Paul.
Yeah, that looks like it's really bright.
Can you make it big? On the
Yeah,
screen?
let me
Okay,
spotlight.
let's see that. Now, is that for the Enterprise?
No, that's for my Air 2S.
Okay,
And
Nice.
or the any of the Mavic 2s, I would imagine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we work with the Mavic too.
And it goes over the body, and then it has a another plate you put underneath,
okay.
and then it just plugs in.
You don't
That'd
happen
be
to
good
have
for
the
night flight.
sphere. You don't happen to have the sphere for the Air 2S, do you?
The what?
The sphere
The 360.
that'll
Oh, no,
attach this?
No, I don't.
Okay. Joy DM'd you.
I wonder what Justin got with his kids, because they got a salmonella thing going on all over right now.
Yeah, that's what I didn't know either.
Yeah, they just came on this morning. Sam's and Kroger's and a couple other stores. They're recalling a certain type of packaged meat. They're telling everybody to chunk it, they ought to take it back. That's what they ought to do. But they found out that that's the culprit.
Really?
I'm glad I haven't been to Sam's in a while.
Yeah, that would not be good. Okay, let me go back to gallery. There we go. Go over here.
Hey, I printed this last night. That holds the Xbox controller and the headphone.
Oh, did you?
Here's this little bitty thing. It came out nice.
Oh, Curtis, you're funny. I am. I'm gonna start yelling at Karen's. Get away from my drone.
Get off my lawn. That would do that.
What is that? What is that, Joe?
That was a, it holds an Xbox controller and the headphones.
Okay.
Yeah, we're getting ready to have another hard freeze tonight. We're supposed to be like 20 degrees at night. I'm telling you, if I wanted to feel like I lived in Montana, I'd move to Montana.
Okay, here's the speakers that they have on Amazon for drones.
Yeah.
I also have the AirDrop system too. But on my bigger drones, it used to be similar to this, but it was square. That's pretty cheap, 1998.
That's real cheap.
Let's see what it says. It can't be, you know. Universal drone speaker, microphone, loudspeaker, wireless, mini speaker, RC work, so you can put it on cars or whatever. There it shows it on an Air 2S.
Yep. 100 decibels, pretty loud.
Yeah, for that kind of money, 1998. In stock.
So how is that allergy stuff working?
I haven't got it yet.
Oh, I thought you're supposed to get it. That's right.
It's
Thought it was
coming,
supposed to be there yesterday.
I think Sunday.
What are you showing? What is that?
That is a speaker set. There it shows it on the drone.
Yep.
Look at the price.
Oh, wow. 19 compared to 70, the one that's sitting on top of my drone.
Yeah, 1998, free delivery, in stock, and what does it say? How many decibels?
100, said 100.
100 decibel.
Yeah, that actually says 150. No, it's 100 decibels, what it said on the picture. I'm looking at the preliminary on this 8 minutes into this coin, and it looks like it's doing pretty good.
There's what you get with it, Lance.
You'll get yourself in trouble with that thing. Go
Oh, yeah,
out to a
100
beach and say,
dB.
yeah,
Can you show what it comes with again? Okay, so you get
that little oblong thing must be the mic you're talking.
that's what I'm guessing as well.
You get near a couple of girls in a bikini and say, "How you doing?" Then you go to then you go to jail. You know. You see that new thing going on in St. Louis?
What's that?
In St. Louis, they got a company that is doing video surveillance, and they're putting the film on the internet. And if you want to see the video surveillance of different neighborhoods, they charge you a subscription fee. So people are up in arms about the fact that somebody's like spying on a neighborhood. So the city council is trying to say that they can't fly in their airspace or anything like this, and they're trying to do a bill, and they sent him a cease and desist letter. FAA got involved and said, you can tell him he can't take off, but you can't tell him he can't fly like that. So it's like they're having a big deal going about it.
Wow.
Yeah, because the FAA controls, as soon as you take off, you're not under anybody's authority.
And if he takes off from his property,
Yep.
if it's his property, you know, they
Or
can't say that either.
Or from a public right of way, like alongside of a road or whatever.
Right. Yeah, because they're gonna try to, they're trying to,
1 foot above the ground.
yeah,
FAA.
yeah, they're trying, the FAA jumped in, because they called the FAA. See, they made a mistake and called the FAA. FAA said, airspace is ours. We control that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Russell, I've had infrared drones on and off, and I missed the last one. I shouldn't have sold it.
Hey, Paul, do you have your 107? You do, don't you?
What's that, Lance?
You have your 107, don't you?
Yes, yes.
And Joe, you have yours as well?
Yes. I don't see why people argue about getting it either. You
Well,
know,
no, I don't
it's-
either. You know, my theory is I got it originally when they first came out with it, Joe, because I figured, hell, you know, I should have it. Even if I don't use it, I should have it, and I just keep it maintained.
You know,
Yeah,
and I
the more-
started looking into it when they called it remember the 333? Remember that?
Yep.
That's what the original. And then they said, well, we're going to change it. So I stopped and, you know, I thought I'm going to wait until the dust settles to see what they come up with. And they came up with the 107. I've only had mine since July of 19. So there's a guy I know got it in July of 18, which I think is when they kind of first started. You know, 18 I think is the first year.
Now, when you first got yours, Lance, did you have to go to a testing center?
I had to go to an airport. I had to
Yeah,
go to
I did too.
Me too.
I went to an FAA testing center.
Yep. And the only places that had them were actual airfields.
Yep,
So I went to a local airfield here in
yep, exactly.
a city called.
And what a pain in the butt you had to drive there, you know?
Yeah. Well, it was kind of a pain to sign up. I mean, it
Yeah.
wasn't, you had to jump through some hoops, and then once you finally passed the test, you had to go back and log in, and I mean, it wasn't an easy process.
Yeah, and you took the test of the computer with cameras in the room, you know?
Yep. So
Oh, yeah.
I took a class with 12 other teachers, and they hired a guy and flew him down from Alaska, and he taught us everything. And then we all signed up for the test at the very end of the class. And so there were 4 guys in my room, and that's all it could hold was 4. It was cubicles of 4, and you had to take the test. And the only thing you could bring in was, I think, a magnifying glass, and I think that was the only thing. you could bring
Paper
in.
and pencil you could have.
Yeah,
Yep.
paper, pencil, and a
Magnifying glass,
glass.
paper. I think the Part 107 was a little bit earlier than that because I'm pretty sure I got mine first in 2017.
Yeah, that's when I got mine in 2016, 2017. Yeah.
Yes.
Yep,
Yeah, I was
that's
thinking
right.
it might be 26. Yep. So,
Because I'm on my third iteration, which really though was great after the first 2, I had to go to a testing center. Then you can do it online.
Yeah. The
Well,
first
the
two,
nice-
first two I went
the
to a
nice thing
testing
about
center
mine-
and, oh, go ahead.
The nice thing about mine is 2019, 2021, it expired. That's when they changed it to the recurrent, the re-knowledge or whatever they call
Yeah.
it.
Yeah,
And
the
you didn't
online.
have to pay either. So I'm like, I lucked out that I never had to go back in and test and also pay a fee. It was
Well, I
free.
lucked out because the business I worked for paid for my testing and paid for the recurrent, the first two that I had to do.
Nice.
And then I took my online recurrent early just so I could get the night flight ability.
Yep.
Exactly.
And so, where's I'm making coffee right now. So,
See, and a lot of people, not to be the drone police, but a lot of people think that you can fly over people now as long as you don't sustain, flight over people, and you cannot do that. You cannot
No.
fly over people, and you cannot fly over moving vehicles unless you're class 1, and class 1 is like a mini, and you have to have prop guards on it.
Yep.
And other than that, like my Mavic 3, I cannot fly over moving vehicles or people yet. But the whole thing, when they changed that law that you fly at night, you could fly over moving people or people, moving vehicles. But there were stipulations in that second piece. So I don't know why I don't understand why the FAA approved that when really you can't do it yet.
Yeah.
I
Hey.
think they're gonna change that though.
Hey,
Well, they're
Donald,
going to have to.
Sarah
you look
says
at
hi.
Amazon.
hi, Sarah.
You're going to have to, Amazon's going to want to fly,
Yep.
beyond visual line of flight and things like that. So, the big corporations are going to pressure the FAA, I think.
I'll be driving across the road and I look like I'm doing Frogger, the game.
Yep. Yep. You see on the drone on the table there, Donald? I don't know if you saw it or not, but Lance got one of those speakers.
I saw.
Yeah.
I haven't. Yeah.
And it's loud.
He's still in
Mine were
spotlight.
always loud too that I had on my drones, but
You're still in spotlight.
on my drone, you recorded right through the controller, and then you could select which message you want or say live,
That'd be nice.
Now, flying over people and cars, according to the FAA, it's sustained flight. So, let's see. The rule permits operations over moving vehicles, provided the small unmanned aircraft meets the requirements of Category 1, 2, or 3, and either. So, yeah, that's right.
You have to have prop guards and
You have to meet the Category 1, 2, or 3. So it's what was that? It was something about kinetic energy.
Yeah, the different weights.
Yeah.
But they're gonna change that. It might be another year down the line, 2 years down the line, but it's gonna change.
now you can fly over people if they're in your what do you want to call it?
if they're in a covering or whatever, yeah.
Well, no, if they're in your group. So I'm
Oh,
flying.
yeah, if they gave you permission and acknowledge.
Right.
They're
But the,
they're part of the VLOS basically.
Yeah,
and you could
Yeah.
argue that.
I think where the confusion arises, though, is
Right.
under the categories, they use the term sustained flight.
But they also, I think, checked on because I'm not there.
That's what I'm trying to
you have
read
have
right now.
prop guards. You have to have prop guards.
Well, I know flying over, you can you can fly over traffic, if it's just a passage to go from one side to the other and not
Right.
hover,
Transitory.
mess around or whatever.
See,
Yeah,
Paul, and I don't
transitory
think
shot.
you can. I disagree with you there. I don't think, unless you have prop birds and unless you're in the right class, I don't think they've really approved that yet. That's just my opinion.
See, I kind of remember with the Pilot Institute class that he said that the guy from FAA actually came on. They were talking about it.
Yeah.
And his key word was sustained flight.
Right.
If you transition over, you're okay.
Yep.
But if you keep going back and forth, they'll consider that sustained flight.
Right. So if you are
And that
on one,
was
if you take off on
normal.
say one side of a highway and you're wanting to get to the other side of the highway, if you just make
Fly
it
directly over.
across
Yep.
and don't hover, just you get to where you need to go in a safe manner, I think that is
Yeah,
covered.
that's basically what the guy said. He was with the FAA. But it's such a fine, it's such a mixed up rule right now. It's like,
Right.
just when you fly from one side to the other, just don't crash, Don't hit the wire on the way over and land on an automobile.
Marie asks, yes, I can fly into Canadian airspace only because we're FAA pilots. I'm not to penetrate any more than a quarter mile into Canada or whatever, and it has to do with my flight path. It's kind of like civilian aircraft, an FAA civilian aircraft. They can fly over like the Blue Water Bridges and around or whatever, but if they want to penetrate into Canada, they have to contact Canadian Flight Control.
And it's also like national parks here in the States. You can fly in a national park, you just can't take off and land
Yep.
inside a national park.
Yep.
So I can stand on the edge of Joshua Tree, right at the gate, launch that puppy, fly in. As long as I'm visual line of sight, I can go in as far as I want to.
Yep, exactly.
Now, just because I can, this is what I always say, just because I can doesn't mean I should, right?
Right.
Well, and visual line of sight does not include using binoculars or anything else. It's physically.
Correct.
But
Yeah.
I think you can have a spotter inside the park as long as they can keep visual sight of it. In other words, like, let's say you wanted to go 2 miles in. So every quarter mile you had somebody stationed and walkie-talkies. And they would pass the visual line of sight on. I think that's what I heard the FAA.
Yeah, I think though you still have to be 107 to do that.
Yes. But I don't, there's some guys that, I don't know if you remember, Joe, it wasn't too long ago, people were flying around New York and they were doing some long range flying and they had visual observers along the way.
Yeah.
But the guy that was flying it was a 107.
And Max
Okay.
just said drones kill bank accounts, not people.
Yeah.
Here on the FAA website, where is it? I just read it. Sustained flight over an open air assembly of people in category 1, 2, or 4 operations does not include a brief one-time transition over a portion of the assembled gathering,
Right.
where the transit is merely incidental to a point-to-point operation,
Yep.
unrelated to the assembly. So,
As long as you don't keep going back and forth.
yep.
In other words, you
So-
can't go down the beach and hover over a topless bikini woman. You know what I'm saying?
Right. They say sustained flight includes hovering above heads of persons gathered in an open air assembly, flying back and forth over the open air assembly, or circling above the assembly in such a way that the small unmanned aircraft remains above some portion of the assembly. So
So I'm going to be devil's advocate here, Don. What drone do you fly?
right now I'm flying the Mavic Mini, but
And what's
professionally I was flying the Phantom 4.
Okay, so we'll use Phantom 4 or Mini. What classifications are those? See,
not.
we don't know.
Okay, the
do not
classification for the
know.
mini is one.
We think, because it's not posted anywhere, but we think it is.
But if I put, it would be one if I had prop guards on it and shaved off some of the weight, maybe.
Exactly. And stand on my left foot, close my right eye, and stick
No.
my toe.
There you go. And
Yeah,
hop. And you gotta
Yeah.
hop too. Hop
because
too.
got to weigh 0.55 pounds or less and have no exposed rotating parts.
Again, I'm just being devil's advocate. I don't want to get myself in trouble doing this because it's
Right.
not clear yet. And
That
so
is true.
there is not a classification one drone that I own because it's too heavy. Every drone that I have, my Mini 3 Pro is too heavy once I put prop guards on.
Yep.
So I cannot fly over moving vehicles. I cannot
Well-
fly moving people or moving people.
Now, are these manufactured drones?
Yep, right from DJI, right?
So DJI would have to have gotten an airworthiness certificate, wouldn't they? Or no?
This is the where you can go and see all of that stuff. Russell posted this in the chat.
And my drone is no longer classification 1 once I put prop guards on.
Right. So category 2 allows for heavier drones, but you need to have an airworthiness certification.
And what the heck is that, right?
That's what I'm wondering. Would that be provided by the manufacturer?
Yeah, the manufacturers provides, like with all of my DJI drones, the big Inspires, they came with manufacturer designations.
But yeah, FAA has never been simple.
No, it hasn't.
Easy to understand. That would be ridiculous.
Hey, Daryl. Yeah, it's hard to figure out sometimes exactly when they're doing that legal speak ease, There's
Mhm.
nothing legal speak ease about it, Just put it in plain English,
Yeah, exactly.
Or keep the legal speakeasy and give an executive summary, just a easy to understand summary that is not binding, but summarizes the points, and then have the rest of it in actual legalese.
You expect the government to do that?
No. People keep their jobs by being able to read that stuff where the layperson can't.
That's right.
Oh my gosh, that
Yeah,
angle's
Momo.
very unflattering of me.
My Marine Corps son is learning that now with all the stuff he has to do, all the books he has to read. I told him, I said, because he hated to read. And I told him, I said, let me explain to you, the supply manual that I had to read was at least 4.5 inches thick. The purchasing manual was 2.5 inches thick. And I had to almost know it word for word. I don't even know what an aircraft maintenance officer's manual is.
Does this angle on my camera make my head look like a thumb? It's tapered. It's horrible.
Here's two manuals that I used to use. Part 107, and then here's a test prep.
I studied entirely from the FAA materials and a few
Well, there's
videos.
Online, there's a few good study help, you know?
Yeah. But back in 2017, there wasn't a ton of videos, but the videos I found online were to help me learn how to read sectionals.
Yep. And that I don't get that. I understand that they want you to be able to fly a regular aircraft. It's like loading on takeoff. Like what the hell? You know? And banking and turning what degrees, you know, and all that stuff back originally, like what the hell's that got to do with anything? That was before we had drones that were FPV, you know, where the drones actually banked. You know, all of our drones are.
Oh, our drones bank.
Well, you can turn that on.
No, our drones bank. The gimbal, the camera stays steady,
Yeah.
but they bank.
Oh yeah,
regardless.
they do bank. Yep. Now what I did a couple of years ago, one of my drones, I think it was the Mavic Pro or whatever, had a setting where you could put it into FPV mode, and
Yeah,
so
where
the camera,
would
yeah,
ease in. Yeah.
And Russell, the only one that has to be 107 is the pick, which
Yep.
is not necessarily the guy controlling the drone, which again, to me, doesn't make sense. I can have my buddy fly my drone as long as I'm standing next to him.
Next to him,
and I
yep.
am a 107.
And you are able to take over the
Take
flight
over
operations
control. Yep.
immediately.
Yep.
hmm
Which to me makes, again, no sense, but hey.
Well,
I got
you're
a
the
good
one
friend of
in
mine-
charge. You're the one that's supposed
Well,
to be doing the risk assessment to see if to judge
And-
whether your friend will be able to fly it safely, that you're in a safe area. That's all your responsibilities.
And I
Correct.
think the basis for that is they want a 107 pilot taking the risk, but they want to be able to train other people, you know, how to fly, you know?
Mhm.
Because there's nothing worse than a person going out to Best Buy, buying a drone and going out and thinking that they can fly it, you know, it's just without ever doing any background stuff.
No, 9 o'clock.
Ten o'clock here.
I gotta get up and go get a check.
Well, that's worth getting up for.
Yeah.
You got snow there, Donald?
We still got a little bit. Most of it's melted off though.
Okay.
I
But
love
we had a
Max's
couple days that
comment.
got cold.
Because I
I
know
love
the
Max-
Northeast,
I love
especially
Max-
up around Buffalo, is getting hammered.
I love Max's comment where he says, drones kill bank accounts, not people.
Yep.
Uh,
Hey, Capture Life Connection. Yes. We hope you're doing well too. Oh, he's getting snow there. Where are you at? You're East Coast someplace or out west? Some flurries, okay. Yeah, there's times I miss some of my drones that I used to own and sold. You know, I had the Inspire 1s, Inspire 2s. I had the big beasties. But my Air 2S does everything I needed to do with a 1-inch sensor, you know?
Well, my first was the Air 2. And I only flew like 8 flights with it and sold it because I bought the Air 2S from somebody in the community.
Yep,
And I sold the Air 2 for what I paid for the Air 2S from it
yep,
and got extra batteries. Now, a year later, the batteries that I bought from them are going bad. But the Air 2S, when it had the problem, I sent it back in. They sent me a brand new one. So
yep,
I don't feel as bad. But I still had Johnny had an extra battery. He had sold his Air 2S and sold it with 5 batteries. Didn't realize he had 6. So he brought me one of them, and his is like brand new, the battery.
Yeah.
So it gives me 3 good batteries. And I think eventually I'm gonna buy a couple of the refurb batteries because they work pretty good.
yes.
But as long as, and I mean, I'm only on that drone since I've got it back. It's only been up 5 times. You know, so it's like brand new.
Well, the Inspires were always impressive, especially when I first got them way back when. When you go to take off, it's like anybody that happened to be around the oohs and ahs when they went up in the air like that. It's like, whoa.
Yeah, plus those they were pretty hefty. They
Oh, but the reason I got rid of my Inspires was battery time was, 12 to 15 minutes. And then you had to land and put a new battery in it. And so in my case, when I was flying down by the water, there's times when one ship would go by and I wait for another ship to go by and, you'd have to come back and swap batteries out.
Yeah.
But talk about a moving machine, I get up to 48, 49 miles an hour with that Inspire.
Yeah, I get out there sometimes with the Air 2S and I'll fly 4 or 5 batteries.
Yep.
Yeah, just because of the times I get about 19 to 22 minutes depending.
Yep.
So I could fly 5 batteries with it if it was a good day. But if I get out there with the Mavic 3, I don't want to fly 2 batteries
Right.
because I'm getting 40 minutes, 39, 40 minutes.
So this was my first drone, the Iris, and it was huge. And that's a GoPro attached to it.
GoPro attached.
Mhm.
Yep.
An Iris, and this was the company 3D Robotics. So it was 3D Robotics and DJI were going head to head, back in this was 2015. And I had the Iris, and then I was going to get the Solo, which was released, and I was about to pull the trigger to buy the Solo, and they came out with an announcement saying they're not going to make drones anymore. So I immediately jumped ship and bought the Phantom 3 standard, which was 2.7. The camera was only 2.7 resolution, and I got that. And so I switched over to DJI, but I still have this drone. If anyone wants to buy it from me. I think I'll sell it just under $1 million, maybe. I don't know.
Here's my first drone.
Oh, wow.
wow.
So I had a buddy who did that too, Paul. That had
Chainsaw.
one
Yep.
pretty much like he built his. Did you build yours?
Yes.
Yeah. And it was gas powered.
Yep. Chainsaw motor.
Yep. Wow. That is so cool.
6-foot rotor on top and a 3 or 4 foot rotor on the back.
Jeez.
There wasn't any stabilization going on either. You flew it.
My first was the original Phantom. Put a GoPro on it, hit record, and hope for the best, and send it off.
Yep.
Can I share this here with you guys?
Sure.
This is my buddy, and much like yours. And how do I do audio? Hold on, let me stop sharing. How do you do audio? Let's go share. Share audio, entire screen window. Share. Shipping tool.
Well, you should be able to hit share when it comes on the screen. Down at the bottom, you hit the audio.
There's a second
Okay.
button when the share screen pops up.
Yeah, I don't know if you're going to hear this or not.
Right down at the bottom there. Yep.
You hear that?
No.
Nope.
Right
Okay.
down at the bottom where the audio line is. See the speaker?
Okay, hold on. So for some reason, something's not popping up. I'm going to try one more time. So should I share? When I click share screen?
Yep. It should
I
pop
have
up into your
Chrome-
window.
I have Chrome tab, window, and entire screen. Which one should I select?
But before you go full screen, you want to make sure that your audio is turned on the video.
Okay, and it is. I'm going to take that off. That's on. So yeah, give me a second here. Audio's on. Go back. I'm going to cancel. Share screen. Actually, let me control. Hey, Paul.
Yeah.
I'm going to. I'm going to send you a link. And maybe you can share it out.
Okay.
on
You're
there.
gonna
It's gonna
put the
take me-
link in the chat, or you're gonna do it in the private?
I will put it in the chat, and then
Okay.
you can. It's going to take me a second here. Hold on. I'll put it in the chat in YouTube.
Okay.
So show that and show the listen to the audio. This is my buddy back in, I would say 1983, 85, somewhere in there.
I'm gonna turn all my volumes up. Okay.
Our company was formed in 1982 or thereabouts through the desires of Jim Pearson of Cinema Reynolds, myself, Eric Duster, the designer of this, and Walt Farrar, who's been acting as our pilot.
We don't
here.
see anything yet.
Three of us got together with Rick Higby, operate the
You don't see anything?
No.
Yeah. Screen share.
And this guy talking is a good friend of mine. He is brilliant. I don't know why he hangs out with me. The guy is Einstein.
Do you see it?
Yep.
Okay, here we go.
Our company was formed in 1982 or thereabouts through the desires of Jim Pearson of Cinema Reynolds, myself, Eric Duster, the designer of this, and Walt Farrar, who's been acting as our pilot here today. The three of us got together with Rick Higby to operate the camera, and have been going ever since. This company was formed because there was a need in the industry to put a camera in places you can't reach with any other means. That includes cranes and dollies and full-size helicopters. This gets us around and under things that you can't otherwise reach with a full-scale equipment, or it gets us much more flexible movement than you can do with a crane. You don't have to reposition equipment, you just fly the helicopter to that position. Hovercam is available for shots that can't be done in any other way. Crane shots that pull up and away from things, or moving shots that you would with a dolly through an area and up and over things, across water, in and around places. We've flown from inside a building to the outside through a door or window, in and around trees, pretty much anywhere. Travel through tunnels. Can't think of anything else. Anything that you can fly a helicopter through, anything that's got enough clearance off the end of the blades for us to fit through, we can fly through and around. This helicopter is controlled by a three-man crew. There are two operators of the machinery, a pilot operating the helicopter just as you would either a full-size or a model helicopter. Then the camera operator has his own control system to steer and operate the camera independent of the helicopter control. To facilitate this smoothly, there are gyros on board the helicopter to smooth out the movement of the camera. If the helicopter moves, the camera it maintains its focus to take out any unwanted aircraft motion, to get us as smooth a shot as possible. The gyros can also be taken out of the control so that if the director is after a moving kind of shot, that can be accomplished as well by taking that gyro system out. One channel or all three if necessary. The basic helicopter here weighs about 18 pounds all by itself. And then we add the other equipment on there to steer the camera, the actual weight of the camera. This one's a 13-pound camera with the video assist. All told, ready to go with a tank of gas and film in it, it's about 35 pounds. It's a 2-cycle engine, runs on normal gasoline, so we can ship it anywhere in the world and run on automobile gas or aviation gasoline. We don't have to worry about special fuels there. Very good performance. We've operated at over 9,000 feet in the mountains. Very powerful machine. Gets you a good climb out if necessary for a kind of pull-away crane shot. A very, very well-performing machine. HoverCam has been used on quite a few projects worldwide. Locally, we've done Lois and Clark, ZZ Top, a number of other music videos in New York and LA area. We've been to Canada, Northern Canada, Korea, South America, and Chile. Been to Australia. Basically, there isn't any place in the world we can't go. We've been pretty much all over the world. Anywhere you can ship cargo on an airplane, we can go. The number of hours required to learn to do this,
So he's worked for Hollywood before. He lives up in a small town called Bellingham, Washington now, and he's our age. He's retired, and wife is a teacher who just retired as well. So they travel the world now, and of course, he's got drones that he does for fun as a hobbyist now.
That's cool. Yeah, that's about, it was, I had a great big Futaba controller, and I had to have a second one if I wanted to have the camera independently, if it wasn't just locked there and you were controlling it. Because on the Futaba, I could control the up and down of the camera, but I couldn't control the side to side. You had to control it by which way you were pointing the
Yes, for sure.
Yeah. Night Train says, looks like a weed whacker motor with props.
Yeah, back in the day, boy, they've come a long way for sure.
Oh, they have. I have to pinch myself because I had the big copters were in the back of the truck, where now it's just a little case with it. You just take it out, fold the arms out, and take off. Plus, now with smart controllers that have the monitor screen right on them, what a way to go!
Yeah, and I love the the DJI that you have two controllers. One can control the camera, one can control the drone. That's nice.
Joe, you're on mute, right, buddy?
The Inspire.
Yeah, I got my son talking back and forth.
Okay, all right. Yeah, I'm pretty much sold. I'm pretty much sold on DJI, even though I have a Autel Nano, which I use for night shooting because the camera's so good. But the simplicity of operating a newer DJI, what I would call a smaller drone, foldable drone, is just incredible. I mean, I used to get pissed because just those gas motors on them, you get gas on you when you're fueling it up and starting it up, and you had to have a glow plug.
Yeah. So Don, you have not got a job with Velocity yet? You were given one, but didn't finish it?
Yeah. The other day I was with a client, but I guess a job offer came in. I checked my messages after I was done, and I was like, oh, I got a job offer from that Velocity thing. So came back home to log in, and I guess they have a 2-hour window to accept the job or not. And they had basically said the job is gone and put me on no longer available. And I have to change that if I want to back up. But it's like, open it up and say, hey, I know there's not anybody else in this area that accepted that job. Kind of a 2-hour window is kind of tight. You kind of have to be on call.
Yep. And do you think it's a 2-hour window to accept or 2-hour window to accept and?
It was 2-hour window to accept. Just 2-hour window to accept.
Okay.
Who knows? Maybe they do have more people here willing to do it. Well, the problem was I could have answered from my cell phone, I guess. But I wasn't able, when I was there with the client, to just hold on, you're not important. Let me take this $20 job.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, I will get to that in a little bit. Pack up, then it's like, okay, I'll just grab it when I get home. Get home.
Boy, that printer of yours, Joe, is just going to town, isn't it?
Yep. That's the low coins. Got a minute left. I buy enough stuff. Yeah. Yeah, that's 26, but there's another package or so. I think the white would be better. Yeah, I'm looking at little LED bases that are remote control and a USB to put in these things because he wants me to do a lantern for him and his girlfriend for Valentine's Day for the
Oh,
pictures. And I said, well, you buy the bottoms and I'll make it for you. Yeah.
there you go.
So I'll get a 6-pack out of this. And it costs him between $26 and $30. And it'd be more personal than going out and spending $30 on some flowers or something.
Yep. Oh, yeah. What, you know, flowers are not cheap anymore.
That's crazy. And then they gave me this as well.
That's good.
You get 15% off.
Include.
Okay. Now we get to see the results. Oh, Johnny's gonna like this. God darn it, that bed's hot.
That's like cooking pizza.
I'm telling you. Let's see if I can get some light on this. Let me see what it looks like a bit. Let's see if I can get it to where, I don't know if you'll be able to see this.
Oh, yeah.
And it says drones and coffee on it. That's his.
Yep.
Yeah, it comes out pretty good. I don't like the thickness of the base though.
Looks like you have a little fog there, Paul.
Now you see, making it larger might have increased the thickness. I think it's myself. I think it's too thick.
Yep, if you made it larger, it would increase on all three axes. You'd have to rescale from the.
Yeah. I wasn't paying attention to that part. I might be able to. Let's see. Might be able to change the scale just in that way. Yeah, because it went to 5. I needed it 3. I can change that. That's easy.
I missed a whisker. Don't you hate it when you miss a whisker and it's right there on the edge of your lip? Nope, didn't get it.
Yeah, about half this thickness would be good. You can't really see with the light, but about half this thickness would be good. But it says drones and coffee on it, and it's a lithophane. So when you get the light in the background,
Down at the Black River, I-45.
and so that would be the deal to do it. This is at 5 thickness, 586. Go down to 3.
Okay.
Yeah, that makes a big difference.
Friday and Saturday, drop it there.
Okay, guys, I think I'm gonna call it. Good luck there, Joe, and Don, thanks for being here. Lance, take care. We'll see all of you again later.
Dropping
Okay,
this
Paul, thank
down
you.
from 5 to 3 cuts the time to 30 minutes.
Okay.
So that's what I'm gonna try.